Good evening, guys. I give up on YouTube. I can't find the live stream on YouTube. It's a long story, this, with how Restream works and how YouTube are actually changing. Anyway, to forget that, we're streaming definitely live to Twitch and Facebook. We were going to have 3 matches today. Interchange X against Linus was due to start an hour ago. Good evening. Good evening, Bill. Facebook's working okay. Interchange X was a no-show, so Linus is is advanced to the next round on a one-loss side. The next match due is at the top of the hour, so we're about 5 minutes away, and that is the match between Keith and Cobra. Is YouTube streaming? Now, if you search 9ball.com on YouTube, the channel, it is streaming live, but where the hell the live stream is, I can't find it. That's how confusing it is for me, the way this new setup is. It is streaming live. Good. I just wonder how many people will find it. Right, where am I? Because I'm all mixed up here. Yeah, we've got the Cobra Keith match, which is a bit of a, well, it's a bit of a revenge match, because if you remember, in the 9-ball Masters, Keith was put to the one-loss side by Cobra, and then Keith battled his way through, all the way through the one-loss side to the final, and got revenge on Cobra and beat him in the final. So we've got another rematch today on that one, and then there's an interesting match at 8 o'clock. Now the problem is, the reason I called it a mixed stream is like one of the other double headers and triple headers that I did, we've got matches overlapping. So the Keith Cobra match is going to start at the top of the hour. There's a fair chance it's going to go over an hour, and it'll overlap into the match that follows at 8 o'clock between Sylvia and McClarkey. Now Sylvia's a long-term virtual pool player. Well, to be honest, I don't know what game she really favours, whether it's straight pool, caroms or whatever, but she certainly doesn't play a lot of 10 ball like most people, but she's well capable of pinching racks, so McClarkey has to be careful, although he will be the strong favourite. As for this match between Keith and Cobra, well, toss a coin and guess. If you're going to go by what we've seen so far, then Cobra once again will have to be the favourite, although Cobra's obviously now in the one-loss side. The other thing to mention is, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to mention, but my head's been messed up with this bloody stream setup. In case you don't know, the match last night between Moz and Albinario went ahead. I saw the first 4 racks and had to go to bed, and I watched the rest of it this afternoon, and it was a pretty solid performance again by Albinario, and I forecast a 14-10 win for Albinario, but he actually ran out 14-6. Moz, of course, on Duffman's channel, streaming live as he was playing. A lot of discussion while he was playing. I don't know whether that helps him focus or not. It certainly wouldn't help me. And he couldn't get going, he was making mistakes, stuff like that. And of course Albinario is going to pounce on stuff like that, and well, made very few mistakes, made the odd 1 or 2, but once again his percentage in potting was a lot higher than what Moz's was, and that's why he ran out comfortable in the end. Good evening to everybody. If you were expecting a match earlier on, apologies for that, but Interchange X couldn't be bothered turning up. And I mean, I don't know, I mean, even if you send a message to your opponent and say, look, I can't make it, you know, I've got a very low opinion of people who arrange a match and don't turn up. That annoys me more than anything else. So it does. So, welcome everybody, if you've just joined. This match we're looking forward to. I was going to have a look at the bracket as well, but we don't have time because this room is just gone up and we're going to get in. I'm going to have to change the cloth colour, I think. Yep, they're going to lag off. We'll do that in a little sec. The queues haven't loaded yet. In fact, while they're messing about, thinking about it, unless there's a problem, well, they are lagging off. Oh, wrong colour. Well, I don't know who lagged. I don't know who lagged there, but that was Keith. That was awful. Right, so here we go. Once again, need I remind anybody who's new or stumbled across the stream by accident, this is Virtual Pool 4 Online, and we are right in the middle of the 10 ball Masters Championship, and we're on a 1-loss side, and it's a race to 10. 10 ball being a called shot game. All combos and banks should be called. The rules for this tournament have a 60-second shot clock, 60-second extension, no jump queues, although you can jump, although a lot of players probably aren't aware of that and are probably too scared to try jumping. It's winner breaks, and of course we've had the lag for the break, and I think I don't think I forgot to mention anything else. So we're expecting, and at least certainly I am expecting, a very good quality match. I have no doubt about that. We've got two of the top players in Virtual Pool 4 here playing, so we expect none or nothing less than that. Excuse me. Yeah, it could be pretty close, but as I say, I mean, you know, that match between Albinario and Moz, had Moz been on his toes, he's well capable of taking out racks, but whether he didn't get as much luck, he fell out of shape, he made those mistakes. I was expecting it to be closer, I have to say. Now Keith ended up in the 1-loss side as well. Let's have a quick look. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's no up yet. We'll get that to load. Get the bracket up, and then we can look at that later on. So to have both of these players on the 1-loss side means that they want to be positive and think, right, well, they've had their bad match to end up here. Well, a lot of chat, a lot of distraction, and listening to the other two guys. And the other thing that annoyed me about that was this, and I'll show you here. You've got two cameras here, right, down at the bottom of the screen on that live stream. You've got the two of them like that, and then up where the information is as to whether it was a foul or anything like that, you've got Moz's picture at the top of the screen, and it confuses you because you can't see whether it was whether there was a missed call, whether there was a foul, unless, you know, obviously you're looking at the game and you're expected to know that, but you need those prompts up on the screen, and to stick a webcam right over where the information is going to come up for viewers is not a good idea. So that's the first thing I'd have binned. In fact, there should have been the 3 cameras down at the bottom of the screen, because that doesn't interfere with anything else other than the chat. Good evening everybody, all the late comers. So, Keith at the table. And it looks a good table to me from here. Shouldn't be any issue, it's just about finding that touch. And the worry, of course, is going to be the 6 ball. We all know that. It's going to have to be the combo. I don't think there's any way he can expect to get good on this 6, so he's going to have to leave this as straight as he can and set up the combo on that 9. And it's not, I mean, if you look at it from where he's going to be playing it, it's not a difficult combo. You'd expect him to get this every time, but he's going to make it difficult if he finishes on the rail. So he's going to have to draw off this 5 ball when he gets there. Well, he's tried to improve the situation. Now I don't know whether that was a wise move, but it's worked out because the 6 will go past the 9. So always risky to take that risk and try and improve a situation that might not necessarily have needed improving, but he's got away with it, and he's got to be careful now because he's inside the 6, and this just makes it a bit more tricky because he's got to get control of the cue ball. Well, that's right, but again, it was a risky shot. He got the reward, but he's going to have to be careful with this because this is not a gimme, and he's got to think about getting the cue ball out for the 9. For the, what am I talking about? The bloody 8. Needs to get it a good angle, and that's fine. That will do. So he needs to be inside again. Got to just get inside. If he runs through, he can then use the angle to drop behind the 10, and he should be home and dry. Well, I'm trying to focus, but as I said the other day there, I said when it gets this time of night my brain starts to shut down. I get ahead of myself and all sorts of shit happens. Yep, 3 webcams in a stream, get them down the bottom of the screen in Virtual Pool 4. Don't have them anywhere near the HUD, especially top right hand corner. That was the most annoying thing for me watching that. And another thing, I don't beg for subscriptions, but if I'm going to get any subscriptions, even though you're watching on Twitch, guys, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because that's the one I want to get the count up, right? So that's the only begging I'm going to do. Don't bother about subscribing to Twitch. If you have, that's fine, and thank you very much, but it's my YouTube channel I want to get up. I've only got about 600 subscriptions to go. Who's got a black screen? And a black screen where? Well, who's Lewis Hood again? That's Senny, isn't it? Is my memory working okay? Well, at least he's in YouTube. No, oh, I'm confused then. So, what the hell happened at the end of that rack there? Because I was too busy reading the chat. What happened to Keith? Did he miss that 6 ball and not get on the 9? That's what happens when I'm reading chat. I totally lose focus on what's going on. Well, that's a bad loss in the first rack. He missed a 4 ball. It wasn't the 4 ball he was on. The 4. On my screen all that was left was the 6, the 8 and the 9. Right, tell me guys, what are you watching? Well, it's going to be 2-0. Breaking out that 6 when it didn't necessarily need broken out. But that's the risk you have to take sometimes, albeit early in the match. But it's got Cobra the 2-0 lead. and 2-0 lead in a race to 10 and a ball in the break. Now Keith should be in dire straits here in a second. Nailed right in behind that 3 ball. There's no point in trying anything elaborate here, just lock it up. That's where you get the pace to play those shots. I mean, it's not a case of just snookering them. I keep telling guys, and I keep saying the same thing, you get it nailed to the 3 ball, you reduce all the angles available to get that cue ball round for a line towards that object ball. So he's going to have to go round the houses to get anywhere near it. Yeah, that was tough. Now let's look at the lay of the table here. Now we're talking about breaking out balls there and taking risks. So Cobra's got ball in hand. Now his next ball's a 3 ball, which isn't on. Well, if the follow through and the mouse isn't working, it can be a number of reasons though. It can be the mouse setting that you're using in the game, because if you read in the advanced settings with the different settings for the mouse, and depending on the mouse you've got, and also depending probably whether you did the automatic setup and then adjusted it, there's quite a few factors that will affect it. That top of the range one, see if you don't go through on the shot. I've tested it and it does make you look a bit more of a numpty. I don't know whether you guys have felt that. Hang on a wee minute. This is the one I'm talking about. Mouse and advanced. I've got it on the velocity average, but see if you have it on accelerated best fit. If I can find the damn thing, where is it? That one. That's the one that will cause you problems, because if you read that for accelerated best fit, it's more penal for poor strokes, and that's something to maybe think about. And what I suggest people do is go back to the velocity average and try that and see whether you're finding anything different to your game. Well, we're going to have a bit of a cagey phase coming up in a second or two, I would think. 3 ball doing nothing where it is, and the 6 ball hidden behind the 10. Well, I'm saying, I mean, this is what people, I bet you half the guys who play the game again don't even mess and test these settings. Especially the ones that can't get a ball to a rail. Well, you want to check what your mouse setting's on under the advanced. If it's on accelerated, I would take it straight off that and try it on the basic one. Or it might be the other way around. Maybe you've got one of these big fancy mice and you want to put it onto the accelerated best fit. Yeah, I've got loads of cheap mice. The only thing I find with the cheap mice is they don't generally, a lot of them are just 800 DPI, but they don't really generate a great break for me a lot of the time. And sometimes when I'm stroking the mouse, sometimes it doesn't get picked up because they are cheap. So Keith at the table. Now, is he going to try and chip this and run for cover? I mean, he's got the 10 and the 6 to work with. Well, these are the things that you should do. You should experiment and do a wee bit of testing to try and dial in the mouse a bit more. It's one thing I keep saying to people, just tweak the sensitivity a wee bit up and down, and the way to practice that is just bank the ball as if you're doing a lag and see if you can get it close to the bottom rail. And if you do that for half an hour and just tweak it, you might maybe find a better length of shot. But Cobra's done what Keith should have done. I mean, that was just opening yourself up to that shot. Keith went for the double kiss on the 4, and he should have played the shot that Cobra's just played. He's just left himself wide open to that shot. I mean, Cobra's going to take the advantage of the fact the 10 and the 6 are there. So again, well, wrong choice of shot for me by Keith, and he's going to pay the price if he doesn't get a hit here and get lucky, and he'll take that every day of the week. Well, Bedhead, you're the perfect example of somebody that needs to get their pace sorted out. I mean, he's perfected the Bedhead shot in Virtual Pool 4 by not getting good position on that next ball. Now, is Keith going to pay the price for a poor choice of shot when he had the wide open shot to play the same shot that Semi was gifted? Not Semi, bloody Cobra. Semi's gone through my head here. Bullshit. Lack of practice, yeah. I don't swear. I don't f-bomb as much as those guys were doing in that stream last night. Mind you, my stream on YouTube, legally now you have to actually. There's a disclaimer that every video that you're making on YouTube now is either for kids or not for kids. So obviously mine is not for kids, and I think that's a problem with YouTube, by the way, because my channel is now. All my videos are marked not for kids. I'm getting these bloody either bot guys, bots, or guys that create channels just so that they can post a porn link on your bloody comments on your videos. I don't know how many I've had to report in the last 2 weeks. Every time I see a comment, it's so and so, whatever their name is, and it's a link to a porn site, and I keep reporting them. And YouTube need to do something about that. I bet you if it was for kids, I wouldn't. I bet if my channel was for kids, I bet you I wouldn't be getting any porn links. No, it's no me that's posting them, it's some arseholes. Right, well, the bad news for Keith is the poor choice of shot has cost him big time, and he's 3-0, and he's not got a lot of time to hang about here. He's going to have ball in hand, and let's have a look at the problem area here. Well, there is a problem. We've got the 4 and 6 an issue and getting on. No problem getting up for the 2. So there's trouble ahead here. And the big trouble is from the 3 and getting anywhere near that 4 ball. So the obvious thing would be to try and get right down to here somewhere. In fact, can he make the angle to make a combo onto that 8? If he was here, not a problem. And he's hung the 3. trying to get there, and that was a pretty good effort at getting on the 4. Now, is it going to be a little chip off the rail? Well, there's certainly no way he's getting to off the left rail. Now, up and down, or down and up, whatever way you want to describe it. And of course, no chance of getting on the 4. I have tested 3 different trackball mice, and they're all shit. They don't give you any touch or feel for shots whatsoever. Well, Cobra has given Keith a chance here, and he can stun off the top rail, come over to the left of the 5. Gone a wee bit higher than he would like. No, I'm Mr. Gullible when it comes to testing mice. I'm afraid that is one thing that I mean, you're talking to a guy who's already thrown away about 15 mice, and I've still got about 9 or 10. That's how many mice I've tested. Yeah, that is one of my vices, is buying mice and testing them out. Well, this will be a bit of a relief. Well, I'll say that again. It'll be a bit of a relief if he can get down on this 10 ball to get himself off the mark. And he's pretty much got there. So, looking at the clock, we are, what, 21 minutes into the match. I always want to get those, you see the mouse that I've got, I'll wait a minute to have a look at it again, I keep forgetting the name of it. I've got one of the original, what the hell's it called again? Oh, I've got one of the original Rat 3 mice. There was all the different rat mices, RAT mices, or mouses, if you want to call them. I think it's a brilliant mouse. This is the cheap one. There was the much more expensive ones with all the little gadgets and bolts that you could take off and all of that stuff. But this one I've had for years, and right now I've got my little cheap mouse plugged in. I've got my old Microsoft 1000 notebook mini mouse. I've got that, and I've got this Rat 3 mouse. I was going to get one of the new ones, but they're about 80 quid and more. But they're very, what's the word? Ergonomic. They're great. They're a great design for your hand. So they are, those mice. So Keith at the table, on the board, and trying to improve the situation again. And he was on the 4, but you stun them firm on these tables. They hit those jaws, they ain't going in. Now I think he's got away with it though. Yeah, and it's going to be difficult to get this cue ball away. Yeah, he's trying to hide behind the 4, and that is an absolutely top drawer safety shot by Cobra. Shot of the night so far. Beautifully played. Pace was perfect, and well, Keith's in a spot of bother again. And if he doesn't get the hit, he's looking at 4-1. Well, that's gone dead straight. It is absolutely poker straight, this 4 ball. He's going to have to work it a bit to get that cue ball out, and he's got it out. And again, same problem. He's dead straight in the 5, so he can only go forward and back. So if he's going to go back, he can. Now, is he going to draw into the 6? No, he won't, but he can draw back with bottom and right hand English. If he does that, that'll get him there. If he draws back bottom and right, would take him out there to the safety zone. But he's not hit it. He has not hit it. Bottom right hand English kicks the cue ball that direction, and he's on the 6, and that is a poor shot to end up there. But once again, the pace on the safety has been nailed, although this time, well, he's going to have to bend this a bit. Right on that diamond to get the kick, and it's not going to go safe though, or is it? I thought the cue ball's going to lock up there, and I think it has. Well, he'll take that again. You need that bit of luck. And it's all of a sudden, in the space of one shot, the tables have been turned. Table wide open, and Cobra looking to find a line off this side rail to catch that 6, but I don't think he can. I think maybe, see, the more I look at it, off that rail just before the pocket, and try and catch the edge of the 6. I like that. That angle looks to be there, but he doesn't fancy it. Well, I would have tried that first before I tried banking. Anyway, we'll never know. So it's Keith with ball in hand, a bit further away from this 7 than he would like, but all the room to get up into the middle of the table or leave it long, whichever he's happy with. Well, he's now going to have to stun up and down. He's got to watch the pace in this. He doesn't want to end up going square, and that's why he's sort of chickened out and decided, I'm not prepared to take that risk. How does this look? Well, the danger here is running anywhere near the 10, so is he going to run it dead soft? Yes, he is, to play it long. Again, playing the sensible shot, keeping it simple, but it's going to get him back within 1, and that kick that he played on the, what was it, the 6, landing up behind the 10, that's what won him that rack. And he's also got a ball in the break, and I think he can cut the 1. What went? The 9 ball's gone. Let's have a look at the angle of this. Well, that's tight. Yeah, trying to put it in off the jaw and sent it too far. Now again, was Keith a bit too quick with that shot? Does he not realise he's got a 60-second shot clock to just get himself set there? And well, it's given Cobra a chance again, albeit he's well inside the 2. Now, how does he move this cue ball and avoid hitting anything to get onto the 3? He might have to leave the 3 a long cut, because this cue ball, if he just pots it plain ball, he's running over here, and the 3 ball's here, so he's doing a bit of thinking. Now you see, Cobra is just thinking about his options here. Keith took that 1 ball too quick, in my opinion. Well, you see what happens when you dig down. He's got perfectly on the 3, and I think he's left this 2 ball exposed. The problem again is avoiding hitting things, and that's about the best he could do. Well, this is a pressure visit, considering he probably wasn't expecting to get back to the table. And now he's in reasonably good shape, although the angle's not perfect in this 4 ball. What's the Liverpool score, guys, or what was the result? Anybody know? Well, he needs to make sure he gets over far enough here. Doesn't want to leave this one of these awkward cuts. And, well, he's not quite there. Another tester. Surely somebody knows what's happened or happened in the Liverpool game. Tell me, please. Is that the latest score, or was that the result? Because I don't even know whether the match is over yet. When did it start? 4:30 or 4:30 in the afternoon? It'll be well over by now. Oh, full time. Oh well. And that was Chelsea they were playing, wasn't it? Aye, good result. Good result for Celtic today. Oh, crappy game, but a good result. That's all that matters. And Rangers drawing 2 each with Hibs. Manny, both the goals. Well, we're now back on par, or at least Keith is. Got it back to 3 racks all. However, he's come up dry, and these balls are sitting pretty nice as far as I can see. Have they said, has there any mention of a fee yet with, what's his face from Real Madrid? Gareth Bale? Or is it just a loan deal? I think I read something about a loan deal or something. Anybody know what the setup is? I thought I read it was a loan deal. I don't know why the hell it's a loan deal. The guy's no happy where he is. He wasn't getting a game the last time I seen. And I mean, they were talking about that early on last season, were they not? I mean, he's been talking for months and months and months about getting away from Real Madrid. I'm surprised nothing's just settled so he can get back home. That little kiss made all the difference with that shot. Not a difficult kick again, and if you can get this full in the face, it might end up pretty good. Oh dear, well, not that ball. The 3 ball. That's just crazy, that kind of money for a footballer. Well, let's have a look. Plenty room past the 10. There's a cue ball going. Oh. Well, this is another little awkward one. There's just a bit more angle in this 5 than he would really like, but he can drop it in dead weight. I think he's overcut it. Oh, it just went in off the right jaw. Good evening, Rob, and good evening to any other. Oh, there's McClarky there. I never even noticed. In fact, I never even noticed that was you that was talking about the 150 grand a week. Well, to me, I mean, Real Madrid's not got rid of him if he's only there on loan. Why they haven't just settled? I mean, what the hell are they going to want for him? They paid 80 million for him, or 85 million. That was a record at the time. What the hell are they going to want from him? Because that's quite obvious that that Tottenham don't want to pay the asking price. Well, this is another tough one. Oh, we've lost a HUD. Hang on a minute. Right mouse button. Well, what's he thinking here? He's looking at the middle pocket here. And the cue ball's going anywhere here. Well, he's overcut it. You wouldn't believe he could have overcut it. And, well, the 10, sorry, the 8 will go past the 10. Look at the angle into that corner. That's what Keith's looking at. This is not easy. Yeah, really tough. I still preferred to. I'd have preferred taking that into the corner, squeezing it in past the 10. But well, as long as Cobra can cut this 8, he shouldn't have any problem clearing up from here, and he's going to go back into the lead. He's only what age is Gareth Bale? I think he's 31, is he not? He's still got another 2 or 3 years in him, although he's been prone to injury, hasn't he? Including at the, whatever it was it the, what the hell, was it the European Championship? What the hell tournament was he in when he was injured during the start of the tournament for Wales? I've even forgotten what the hell tournament that was. Was it the World Cup? Seems that long ago now. I had to laugh. I saw a little bit of the Hibernian Rangers game earlier on today, and it was at Easter Road. It was a Hibernian's ground, and they've got cardboard cutouts of people sitting in the crowd. I think every seat that I could see had a cardboard cutout of a spectator sitting in it. In fact, some might say that that's not really much different from real life, considering what Hibs fans are like. Well, after Keith somehow getting himself back into the match, there's a threat here, just a threat at the moment, that there could be a 2-rack lead. But this is again another tester. Yeah, you know, when you start trying to do things with the cue ball, you're taking a wee bit of liberty in the shot, and well, I wouldn't say Cobra's quite got away with it. I mean, this, believe it or not, the 2-ball will cut, but look at how close he is to the 2, and to me, I think it'd be far better trying to work out a safety. But then again, how the hell does he do that from that distance? He's probably better having a go. He's got to hit it though. You've got to hit it hard enough to get there, and that's a great shot. Needs a bit of luck though, and he ain't getting it. Well, Keith had a blast there, not called a pocket. And well, it's going to be the billiard, if anything. Well, you wonder now how clubs are going to survive. I mean, the Premiership clubs in England and all of those ones that are under Sky's contract, I mean, they've got revenue coming in from that, but they're obviously not getting it from where their main revenue comes, and that's punters through the gates. Well, the billiard was played, it hasn't worked out, and once again, the frustrating thing for Keith is he's not really getting an easy start here, and certainly looking at the 3-ball, there's not much on for him. Oh, that's some shot at that angle. That is some cut on that 3-ball. Now can he take it out? Well, wrong side of this 6. Is he going to try and take evasive action? He can certainly miss the 8-ball. He's drawn onto the bottom rail, and the draw's done the trick. So we are 42 minutes into the match, and just a reminder to any latecomers, McClarkey included, he's got a match on at the top of the hour with Sylvia on the 1-loss side, and we will stay with this one. We may well drop in and have a look at what's happening in the other one, because we can, with this version of online that Steve sent me, the little button to jump into the other rooms in the bracket works, so we'll be able to flick backward and forward. So we're back all square, 4 racks apiece, 5 and 6 are locked up, 4 balls get in a break. And the safety is good. Of course, Cobra won't really be having any great concern at the moment, considering the 5 and 6 are the safety net. Oh, if that just sneaked behind that 8 there. Well, it's going to be the combo now, because the 1 and 5 are dead set, and that's well, it's good in one sense that it's opened that up, but the other problem is the 8 and 10 are locked up. Now is Keith going to get greedy here? Well, I think he did try to improve the situation there. Needs to bounce, and the spin's working as well. Well, anywhere down this left hand side for the 3 into the middle or taking it long. Well, he's just going too far, because ideally he might have wanted to take a risk by potting the 3 and nudging something there and still having a shot in the 6, but that's not worked out. So he's run out of that option. Now, what's he got here? Well, I think there's no way he's going to try and do anything off this 6 ball. He's got to leave himself high in the 7. And he's not really done that either. If he was there, he had the angle to break these out. If he's going to take his medicine, the best he'll get is a combo that has to be made. And he's short on that as well. So this is make or break for the rack. The combo nowhere near set, but can he push through and just lock up Cobra though? Oh yes, he can nail him. He can nail him behind the 10. That's a shot. If he had got straighter on that, he would have went for it, but there's no point in doing anything like that, taking any stupid risk when you've got a perfectly simple safety shot to play, and he may get the reward for it. Not difficult to hit the 8, but of course Cobra calling a pocket just in case. That's what you should always be in the habit of doing. And that's now freed up the 10. Well, as I said earlier, I mean, Sylvia will pop balls, maybe not on top of the positional play, but if you start taking any liberties, you may well find she'll be pinching more racks than maybe she should have. We will see. Well, there's a very strong possibility here that Keith will be taking the lead for the first time in this match. Now, he was 3-0 down, wasn't he? So this for 5-4. Ten ball goes in a break. 10 ball gets respotted. Where's the cue ball going? No. Oh well, he's absolutely stone dead there, I think. Can he see? Oh no, I don't think he can get to it. It's risky trying. Well, he can get to it. That shows you how bad my eyes are now. Did he call the pocket? No, he hasn't. So that's a missed call. And what's more, he's going to get another chance here because Cobra's having none of that. He's going to be putting Keith back in because he's hooked in the 2. Now, the obvious thing is don't bang this because you don't want to move that 3 ball. The worst thing to do is open up the table. But the other thing is, should Keith not hit this 2, there's a very strong likelihood he's going to be nailed and snookered anyway. So well, that could have Keith in trouble now, because Cobra can just see enough of this 2 to punch it and just drop in behind those. But if it misses a 5, he should have a good safety. Well, that's pretty good. Needs to get to a rail. He's got to a rail. Well, he can still push this to the rail, just drop and use the 5 as cover. He couldn't drop right on it, but that's still perfectly reasonable safety shot. And that might be nice as well. It's not bad. It is not bad at all. Now, what about that 2-8? No, it's going to the jaw anyway. That'd been a really desperate shot to bang the side rail and try and kick the 8 in. Well, that's worked out pretty well, and the safeties have been pretty good so far. And it's Keith's turn to try and find another one. If he gets this thin enough, it might end up pretty good. Then again, it might end up like that, and he's going to be nailed again. Oh, the yawning has started. Well, no immediate danger at the moment. It all is a question of whether Cobra can get a good line with ball in hand, remember, to try and improve the situation. Now, is he trying to drop behind the 3, or is he trying to break it open? He's trying to drop behind it, and well, that's all backfired. That has backfired big time. Now, is he calling it in the middle? Because I think he thinks he can see enough of it to hit it hard enough and get it there. This will still be a good shot at that angle. He got to hit, yeah, he had to blast it. Well, it's a missed call. The 10 has gone in, and that is a sigh of relief you've just heard from Keith there, by the way. No shit, what am I talking about? He called the 3, didn't he? I see, that's me falling asleep again. Ignore me, guys, my brain's half dead here. He called the shot and the 10 went in, so the 10 gets respotted. What a numpty. Oh dear, what's he done here? Well, that's a bad one. Yeah, it was even stranger when I saw the 10 ball get in and said it was a missed call. And I forgot he'd called the bloody 3 ball in the first place. That was a cracking shot, that 3 ball, by the way. You just got to thump it and get enough pace to get it into the hole, but it was a great shot. But, well, Keith can't believe his luck here. Well, that's what it is. I mean, there are points in games where, you know, he's got himself to that position where he didn't get, he would have been lucky to have had a shot in the 3, and I don't think he could believe that the cut was on. So, you know, he had no other option really than to take the risk. But Keith himself can't believe he's back at the table. And all of a sudden, it's going to be a 2-rack lead if he can get good in the 10, because he's not good in the 9 unless he wants to take it long. Well, he's prepared to let it run and get the pace, avoid the scratch, which he has done. That's the trouble with a lot of guys in Virtual Pool 4, though, that a lot of the time they are relying on luck. When the game's far much, it's a lot easier by actually putting the cue ball to more or less where you want to put it. It's amazing how you can string racks together when you do that. Well, the break was good. Unfortunately, the cue ball was included amongst the balls that went down. The 2 and the 3 have gone. And, well, this should be a pretty quick rack for Cobra. Although, it's the 4 to the 5. All the room in the world to get there, though. And we are 5 minutes away from the start of the what was to be the 3rd match of this evening but unfortunately it's only the second one. I don't think that he's playing too quick. Certainly, there's only been one shot when Keith took that. Was it the one ball into the middle that I thought he took too quick? He missed it, and then later on he pots an even more difficult cut into the middle. I just thought he rushed that shot. Now you see it. The other thing as well is it's a race to 10, and Cobra is trailing by 2, so he probably feels he does have to take the risks when he's at the table and the ball's there. He'll feel now that he has to go for it. You know, it's not a case of panic stations. It's a case of get rid of the balls before Keith does. It's that type of situation. Sometimes it is he who dares wins. He may well have came to that conclusion already. 6-4 is a dangerous score. Well, they're all dangerous, but you know what I mean. Oh, goodness me, I thought he'd hung it. I thought it was another Cobra special there. But he got it in. He's back to within 1. And now what he wanted was a good break. Well, it's all good from the fact that he's potted a couple of balls. The 2 and the 7 have gone, but look at the 5 and the 6. There's nothing doing down there. Well, it's an easy safety shot, that one. You pot the 3, leave yourself a good position in the 4. But if he can get a good position on it, he could break the 5 and 6. He needs to get down the table and fairly close to the 4, I would suggest. That's why he's went narrow. He risks running in. That looks pretty good to me. Or is it? I don't think so. I think the angle he's got, he's missing a 6. He can't get to it. Well, it's touch and go, I think, whether he can get there and still pot the 4. He's trying to pinch as much as he can here. Is he lining up the bank for the 4? Is he right? That's maybe what he's looking at. Aye, that's what that's taking a risk, because he's looking at that, avoiding the double kiss, and trying to glance this 6 ball. Somebody needs to convince me that that's on, and I think he's thought the better of it. He's played a safety, but albeit not difficult to hit this 4, and a very strong likelihood it's going to go in. And if Keith gets really lucky, he may well nudge the 5 and 6 here. So this is make or break. What a shot. Unlucky though. Extremely unlucky. But he should have kept Cobra in trouble. That was an excellent execution of the shot, fulfilling both aspects of the shot. Potting the 4, breaking the 5 and 6, and getting no luck. And I don't think he's played the best of safeties here either. He should have had that hidden. No, not the best safety, because especially when it's just it's a simple bank to hit the 4. If the 4 goes in, you know, that's brilliant. But Cobra had no angle to create anything else. Where's the cue ball going? Now he's... Well, I don't think he can go forward because there's a strong risk of just following this 5 ball in, brushing off the 10, and he's not got much room to manoeuvre where the cue ball's stuck. Now if he rolls through and he brushes off the 10, the 6 is tight past the 8, but it goes. Oh, look at the 10 ball though. Well, it's all backfired big time again. He wasn't expecting that. I think he was expecting a thinner brush off this 10. If he had done that, he'd have been on the 6, but he got it thicker than expected, and that's ruined his plans. And it's amazing how shots like that could just suddenly send that dull feeling in the pit of your stomach when you were looking to be pretty good there to run out, just brushing through, and now he's looking to survive in the rack by getting a kick and somehow getting a safety. Oh, and the knuckles undone him as well, and he's left it plumb. Well, everything's went wrong for Cobra, and at the wrong time as well, just as he was looking to tie the match back up. Well, not a great shot there by Keith, to be honest with you. I mean, he's left himself a lot further away on the 8, and he's the wrong side of the 9, and these are the ones that can go wrong. It looks simple enough, but he may well be, unless he stuns it. He's not going to get there. Good evening, Jose. Late to the party again. Now, what did Keith call there? Is he called the cut or is he called the bank? He's called the cut. Yeah. That needs to go into the rail. Now, what did I say about that 9 ball into the middle? Wrong angle in the 9, and it looks so easy to get in the 10, and it's amazing how simple it is to get yourself right out of line with one simple shot, getting from the 9 to the 10, a wide open table. And of course that's what it is. You've got to get that control, think about exactly what you're doing. Keith went for, he didn't, the shot that he played, if you notice and remember the shot, he played it certainly to avoid scratching in that left middle pocket. That's what I think he was worried about, if he just let it run. So he actually stunned it to get it around the angles, and forced it a bit to make sure he wasn't going anywhere near that left middle pocket. But had he let it run and took that risk, he'd have been sitting perfect in the 10. And in a rack that he ended up with that chance, and he's blown it, and all of a sudden again we're back all square. Well, Cobra has had his fair share of bad luck in the last rack or two, but he's still got himself back all square. Just not getting that little bit of running, but he's certainly got a fair bit of running there with Keith throwing that rack away. Well, he played to improve the situation. He certainly has done, and he knew he was going to leave himself the long cut in this 3. And where's the cue ball ending up? Well, he's going to have a clean shot at the 4 and nothing to do with the cue ball, although he's going to have to do something with it when he pots the 5 to get out onto the 6. He's a wrong angle in this 4 ball. And now he's got more than enough angle. How does it look from his side? This is tricky, this. Needs to bounce. And it's going to be another little fiddly one. Is he just going to try and drop over for this 7? Perfect angle just to drop over. It's just about the pace, and Cobra's pace is usually pretty good. Oh dear, well, he's decided to go twice. I don't know why. I mean, obviously the 7 is wide open to this corner pocket that we're looking at, but why he didn't just drop across for the 7, I don't know. He was obviously more concerned about making it easier to pot the 7 from the far side, but well, he's got away with it though. And now this rack all depends on this 6 ball. Cut that 6 where it is there. You're kidding me on. Now there's a good shot. That is a beautiful shot. Why play a stupid cut when you can play an excellent safety like that? That was lovely. And Cobra is rewarded for the class safety. So ball in hand to take a vital lead after having the lead stolen from him, from Keith. Well, the other match, I'm assuming, is underway. And again, wrong side of the 8, but much easier to get to the 10. Just come down the left hand side. Well, we'll give Cobra this, although he obviously did miss a 10 ball like this earlier in the tournament. Right, so Cobra back in the lead. Quick look at the bracket. And that's the match we're watching. Where the hell's the other one? There we go. And well, the other match has started, but according to the bracket it's still 0-0. And we'll keep an eye on that. So we're into rack number 14. The break from Cobra is dry. Just keeping an eye on what the score is. Well, once again, not a difficult kick, easy to get to the 1. And what's more, he's called the 1. The 1 has gone in, and he's on the 2, but no shot in the 3. That's why you should always call a pocket. All he was really concerned about there was making a hit, but the 1 has gone in. Now how does he get a good safety off this 2 ball when he pots a 2? If he just rolls it in, he's not seeing the 3. So try to get the cover. He hasn't got it. Oh, Stubbs awoke. Well, you're going to have to arrange your next match so I can see it, Stub, and I'll tell you whether you mean business or not. Well, Cobra's had an almighty blast there on the 2, trying to pinch a bit to nudge into the 7 and 3. Well, obviously can cut the 2, but still got no chance of getting on the 3, so just looking for cover. Well, that's changed the situation. That shot right there has freed up the 3, but Cobra has got no sight on the 2, so that's ended up a great result for Keith, getting cover, putting the pressure on Cobra with this kick shot, and well, it's not gone safe. I mean, it's still perfectly cuttable, this 2 ball. And again, Keith thinking better of it, waiting in a better opportunity. But he could be in trouble here if Cobra is prepared to take the risk. He can cut the 2, he's going to cut it towards the corner pocket, but if he gets the running on it, he's got good cover down the bottom of the table here. I don't think he fancies it though. And again, he's come up with a better plan, and that is excellent. And it is seesaw as far as the safety goes, because 1 minute Keith's in charge, and then the next shot Keith's in dire straits. And well, I'm looking to see where the line is to get to this 2 ball. I didn't think it was there. I thought it was a better chance of getting to it past that 6 ball just before the middle pocket. And now Keith's shot where he played the safety and brushed onto the 7, it could backfire big time, because he's freed up the 3, missed the kick in the 2 from Cobra's safety. Excellent safety, by the way. And now Cobra has got his chance. And at the end of this visit, he could be 2 in front. And of course the 5 ball is the problem. Let's have a quick zoom in on that. Well, that 5 ball is frozen to the rail, so that is a possible issue here. And he's got to get this flush, and the other thing of course is he's got to get the cue ball out, so he's going to have to punch this to get the cue ball anywhere out to see this 6 ball. And this is vital now for Cobra's chances in taking this rack out, and he's played it well. I think he's gone dead straight again though. That is dead straight, and he may well have to just draw back a tad and leave the cut in the 7. It'd be the sensible shot to play. If he just comes back to there, he's got the cut, and he should have a shot of some description on the 8. That would be just playing it simple. Does he want to risk doing anything else with this shot? I don't think so. Little draw, 2 or 3 inches back. Well, he's erred on safety. He's gone further up the table, making sure he wasn't interfering with that 10 ball. So now the pressure is mounting or it will be if Cobra can take this out. But it's going to be very likely 4 in a row here for Cobra. From 6-4 down, he's looking odds on to go 8-6 up. Now, has Keith got anything more to say on the outcome of this match? Because he's now at a point where he's going to have to show his fighting qualities, provided he gets a chance. Cue ball thinking of scratching. The break looks dry to me, but Cobra's left nothing on. Well, he can get to the 1, obviously just before the middle pocket. He can get the hit on it. He's looking at up and down. Now if he goes up and down and hits the 1, there's a strong chance that that 5 ball could act as a blocker. I mean, looking at the 1 there, you could squeeze it past the 5, but if he kicked it up and down, he might get lucky. He's gone the other way though. Well, what do you reckon the chances are that Keith can pot this 1 and somehow find a way out? And that's gone all wrong. He took the risk. He's run slap bang into the 10. It's killed this cue ball stone dead right behind the 9. And now, in the quick blink of an eye, it's looking desperate now for Keith, because Cobra has ball in hand. He's studying the table. The 4 ball technically is the problem if you want to really stretch it a bit, but it is a problem just to get there. But he's perfect in the 3, just to drop down far enough. No problem getting in the 5. And this is going to be 5 in a row. Yep, well capable of taking racks. That's why I was saying, you know, you don't want to be taking liberties. She knows how to pot a ball. Well, this is the 1 that's going to decide it. The 6 ball to the 8 to take Cobra to the hill, or at least it should do in any normal circumstances. The weight on the shot is pretty good, and he should be able to drop down onto this bottom rail, or just above this 9 ball, whichever comes first. But to leave him an angle to get him good on the 10. So this is the shot now. And that will do. Perfect angle. I think he's really got to go forward and over to the right, and as long as he's up somewhere by that right middle pocket, he should be home and dry in this rack. And now it's the point of no return. It is 5 in a row, and it's 9-6 to Cobra in this race to 10. With the break. Where's the 10 ball? Oh, well, that 10 ball was going in. It would of course been respotted, and Cobra would have remained at the table. But the 1 is on for Keith, the thin cut. And again, I think he needs to get a wee bit of luck here. And this is, well, this is all your eggs in one basket if he goes for this cut. He's actually overdone it. I think he'd made his mind up if he gets a chance just to go for it. And that could well be his last shot. Although the 4 ball, well, there's plenty of room to get on that 4 and make the cut. Let's be honest. Well, this is going to have to be across the table twice and somewhere out in the middle of the table, but it's going to be probably a nasty cut in this 4. And that will be, well, it should be the shot that will set up the run out. And again, the weight is perfect. We haven't looked at this 6-9. That's the problem ahead we never thought about, because that 6 isn't going. Now, is he going to come back enough to leave the 6-9 billiard, or the 6 and billiard onto the 9 with the cue ball, or does he fancy playing a combo? Or does he think he can cut that? Well, he's got to play the combo. Well, I thought if he dropped high enough he would have played the billiard, but he's going to play the combo. And there's no real knowing where this 6 ball's going to end up. It's going to go to the rail and come out. The 8 ball's acting as a blocker for the middle pocket, but he just does not really know where this is going to finish, depending on the weight of shot. Well, it's pretty straight, but he's going to have to, and of course he's close to the rail, but he's going to have to run the cue ball. And I don't know whether he can run and sneak around behind that 7 at this angle. He's a bit too straight, I think, but he can certainly help it with a wee bit of spin. He's got a bit of left on it, just trying to tweak it around, and he's missed the 7. And well, as long as he leaves himself, he probably wants to go inside this 8 ball, because you don't want to be out into the table, because you're going to scratch. You've got to go inside and stay closer to the rail, or he's going to have to go all out and come down to the bottom of the table. Depends how much of a risk he wants to take, but I'd just be rolling it through. And well, he's not quite inside, but he's just got a straight draw for the match for this 10 ball. Well, we've said it before with Keith, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and you cannot argue with the fact that from 6-4 down, Cobra has come good, and he's won 6 in a row to take out the match by 10 racks to 6. And well, there was a bit of luck here and there, and Cobra had his fair share of bad luck, but in the end, the far more solid player on the day was the winner, and Cobra marches on. And well, Keith's going to have to lick his wounds and come back another day, but there was a strong finish by Cobra. So with that, we will have a look at the bracket, and we can see that Sylvia is 3-0 up, and hopefully I could get this thing to work. There we go. And with a shot in the 10 to go 4-0 up, and in it goes. Well, we've got a match on here, or certainly. What the hell happened here? What now? I've just joined a room. Hopefully I'm not out of sync. Maybe I am out of sync. Right, I think I'm out of sync here, guys. Wait a minute. Yeah, because weird things are happening. Whenever you see weird things like that, you know you're out of sync. Well, there we are. We're in the next rack. I thought I was seeing things there, and then I realised I was out of sync. And that's what happened when joining from the bracket. I'm going to have to test that again just to make sure it's not that that's acting up. But the score is definitely correct. It is 4-0 to Sylvia. And McClarkey, well, he now knows he's got a match in his hands. And you don't want to be taking too risky a shot. Maybe that's part of the problem as well. I don't know how he's played so far, but as I say, if you start taking too many liberties against somebody that knows how to pop balls, you're going to get picked off. But he's got away with that a bit. Sylvia's called the 3 ball, and she's looking to glance the 2 and if maybe nudge something just in case, calling the 3. Well, McClarkey has a chance, and well, there's work to do for him. It's not an easy out. But if he's going to progress in this tournament, he's going to certainly have to do it the hard way. It's only a race to 10, remember. These are all one-loss side matches. Now, did he not have an angle there to go through and up the table? Because he ended up just stunning that. I never looked at the shot, I must admit, but he's left himself awkward. Now Sylvia can use the rail and the 4 ball to get the cue ball moving, unless she fancies a big deep draw. But one way of creating that angle is to hit the rail and the 4 with a bit of right spin, and that's what she's tried. I don't think she's got into it enough though. Needed a bit more juice. So thin edge of the 5, but if she gets this wrong, she'll run into the 8. That will do. So now another thing as well is, I wonder if McClarkey's taking his time. and knows that he's got a minute shot clock as well, because that's another failing in quite a few players, just taking shots too quickly and not getting proper assessment of the situation. And this is a kind of time, it's the right moment in time to be taking your time. Well, Sylvia has her own queue in Virtual Pool 4 for them that don't know. Or Sylvia, or as her original name, Sylvia is her real name. Her original name was Wylie. Is it ZWYLLE, and that queue is in Virtual Pool 4. Well, that's pretty safe. It's an awkward cut, and it's all out. It's all or nothing for McClarkey. Got to put this away. That's just a bit too hard, a bit too much juice here. Shouldn't have a problem though. Bit of inside helps it up the left hand side. So a roll in the 10 is going to get McClarkey off the mark. And what we'll do at the end of this match is we'll conclude proceedings by giving ourselves an update on the bracket and seeing exactly what's to come. I know that I've got 1 or 2 matches tomorrow that I should be able to get. No, she played as Wylie on VP3. ZWYLLE, that was her name all the way through VP3. She only changed it to Sylvia in VP4. Sylvia Guilden, I think, is her full name. Guilden. Whether that was whether that's her maiden name or was her married name. Well, she's missed the cut in the 5, but she's got away with it. Now the problem with chipping this from the right hand side is you're probably just going to chip it to the knuckle and it won't go in. He's obviously, well, looking at it from the top down there, it doesn't maybe look so bad. Yeah, the double kiss was the other thing that was on, but you'll take that result. That's pretty safe. Now, McClarkey hasn't called anything. Well, he's decided he's going for the bank by the looks of it. Yeah. And where these balls are lying, this has got to go in. Because if he doesn't get it safe, well, he may well have. But he should be nailed to the 8. And that's just left himself wide open for that. That bank simply had to go in the way these balls are sitting. and Sylvia taking the opportunity to stick McClarkey right behind the 8 ball, as they say in pool. The pressure on, of course, because every ball is on. Well, it looks to me that the easiest angles around the 2 angles at the top of the table, and back down to the corner here. That looks good, and he'll take that. That's not a bad outcome, because that 5 isn't going, and that's a great result. Took his time over it and got his line. May well be in trouble again though. Oh well, needed a bit more angle than that to get the 5 off the rail, because she's left it exposed. Now, is McClarkey going to draw or follow? If he draws, he's just going to draw towards the 8, so he's going through. Done the right thing there. Now, can he run out? I think he's gone dead straight in the 6 as well. Yeah. Well, he's pinched a bit. Managed to get around the corner. Simple 7 down the rail. Now, he wants to get lower on this 8 ball. The reason I say that is lower means he's given himself an angle to run up past the middle pocket. That should be the plan here. Like that. That is perfect, because he can just roll through, get himself fairly straight in the 9, and drop the 9 in, and he's home and dry, and he's got his 2nd rack on the board. So, into rack number 7, McClarkey breaking off, nothing going, and no shot for Sylvia. And the yawning started again. The old brain is ticking over to bedtime, so just to push out. Well, a reasonable enough push out. Problem is she's probably going to get put back in. I know I would have already put her back in. I wouldn't even be thinking about it. Yeah. Well, that's again. Well, how is that for almost setting up a combo? It's nowhere near set perfect, because he's very close to the 1. Now, the angle going straight forward is pushing that 3 to that rail, and he's looking just to skim off it. Now, well, it's not easy, and it wasn't easy to get a line from that 1 ball being so close to it to find good cover. Well, there's a big huge gap. That's the gap. Anywhere in there, and that's even better. So the 5 ball is going to have to be dealt with. And that's certainly not a simple shot. And that's not set as a bank. Well, she's called the bank, but she's going to have to cut across this 5 to create the bank. That's well played. That's excellent. And if she can just squeeze a 6 past that 7, she should be on the 7. Nice angle just to drop out. Well, the problem ball was a 6 ball. Sylvia managed to, oh dear, well, the power shot, that was nothing like that needed to get on the 9, because she's overhit it by a mile. And McClarkie's been handed a gift of a chance, and everything was going perfectly there, and that has been thrown away by blasting at the 8. And it should have been 5-2. So this cut to get back within 1. Well, that's a great rack to have won there for Sylvia, but thrown away in that 8 ball. And now McClarkie from 4-0 down is right on her tail. 9 ball goes in, cutting the 1. Now a gentle cut in the 1 drops you through below the 2 for the 2 into that top corner as we look, top right hand corner. You've got to get there. Is he playing it for in the middle? To me the safer shot was just to come through off the rail and out for the 2. Nothing to do to go on to the 3. And he's left himself in stook here. This is not easy to pick the line. And he's running over to the left. And he's okay. Found a gap. 4 goes past the 10, no problem there. And we could and should be all square in a minute. But thinking ahead, the problem's getting from the 8 to the 10. Again, it all looks simple. He's left himself high in the 4. And it's wiped at his feet, and only the pace let it drop. That's neither here nor there again, but he can roll it in into the far corner and just roll through off the rail. Got to let this run. Can he baby this? He's got to let it run through to make sure the cue ball's good on the 7. And he's hung the 6, and that was a clincher. Getting that cue ball out for the 7. And Sylvia has her lifeline. Got to make up for that miss in the 8 on the last rack. And the voice is going. I need a drink. Drawn to avoid the 10, but it's another nasty cut. Yeah, they're always testers. The weight was pretty good. Now McClarkey, I think, should use the rail and the ball with a bit of spin. Excuse me. And he's got a bit of left on it, but too much, because the spin has killed the pace. Well, you leave yourself awkward cuts. It's a heap of pressure on to take them out, but no problem this time. And Sylvia's going to open up the gap to 2. Five ball goes in. Shot in the one into the middle. To mute my mic, hang on. I don't know whether my voice is going to hold out, but this is a great chance. Well, that's a bit straight. Too straight to get over for this 7. So it's going to have to be the 9 called. Oh, it's managed to squeeze it in. I thought she was going to call the combo. Managed to just cheat the pocket and it went in. Well, she's got to take this out now. She's done all the hard work. Nothing to do but go forward off the bottom rail and up to the right for a 10 into the left middle. And very quickly the run out from Sylvia is letting McClarkey know she means business. And well, from getting within 1, McClarkey's now chasing 3 behind. Well, these are the type of opportunities that McClarkey's got right now, where he's got to take it out. He's been given the chance from the dry break. He's gone really close to the 2. He can cut it, but needs to get lucky finding the pace and finding the space to get to the 3, but not prepared to risk it. Now, what does Sylvia do here? Does she play a safety come combo in this 5 ball? Because that's the shot, is to push the 2 towards the 5 just to get the cue ball down the bottom of the table. But it might be worthwhile calling the 5 just in case. Or is she going to play it gentle enough? No, just trying to push it around the table. Well, look what's happened to the 4. The 4's locked up the 3. And of course McClarkey an open shot in the 2, but no chance of getting to the 3. It'd be hard push to actually hit this 3 ball, by the way. If he pots this 2, I don't think I'd be potting this. I'd be just trying to send it away. In fact, I'll tell you what I'd be trying to draw that cue ball towards the 10 and the 4, because the shot's there to do it. That's what I'd be trying. I'd be stunning that 2 ball up the table and sending that cue ball into here. Well, I suppose that's okay as well, for the reasons of where the 3 ball is. I mean, that's fine. Sylvia can pot the 2, but again, no chance of getting anywhere near the 3. She might even think better of it, and I think that's maybe what she's thinking. Yeah, oh, 2 balls going to go in. So it's the missed call, and McClarkey will stick her straight back in. So that's backfired big time. And it's amazing how things can go wrong when you try and play a half decent safety shot. You cross bank the 2 and you end up being given some of your own medicine in trying to get out of this. And that 3 ball may well not go far, because even if she gets the kick on it, look to see what angle she's got off this rail. Yes, calling the 10 ball just in case. Well, that's going to be a foul, because I think it hit the 8 first. Yeah, so McClarkey now, it's no miss with ball in hand. He's got to take his time, pick his line, how he's going to get onto this 4, and more importantly, find a path up the table to the 5, because there's an awful lot of traffic in the way. It's like the great wall of balls to get from the bottom of the table back up to the top of the table. So this is not cut and dried, this rack. Where's the cue ball? And he scratched, doing everything he could to get the cue ball moving. And Sylvia, well, this has got to be an out. Ball in hand, 6-3 up, everything wide open. Now, let's see what the angle is. That's going to end up nowhere, I'm afraid. I don't think she did anything with the cue ball. And the old kick and hope, and McClarkey may well still get a shot at this. And I think he pretty much thought the rack was over. Where's this going to end up? Well, the spin has checked the cue ball, because that, if that didn't have that spin on it, it was going behind the 9 on that side rail. Another tough shot here from McClarkey. He's going to have to leave this a cut down the rail from the middle of the table, unless he's just trying to pinch too much. Now, if that had went in, that would have been technically a legal shot, but he didn't call it. So technically, as far as the rules of the tournament goes, it would have been a missed call, and there would have been a fallout in a fight, and I wouldn't have got involved. I'm saying nothing else on that one, but that's why things can happen in 10 ball. That's how fights start. And Sylvia may well want another attempt at that 9 ball. I don't think she could do an awful lot, to be honest. It was pretty straight, and this is a toughie. But this, to go 7-3 up Well, it was the intended pocket, but I'm saying you're going by the rules of the game, aren't you? Not if your opponent wants to argue the fact that it went across the table and back into it. I mean, we all know that was the intended pocket, but well, that's true. You call the pocket and not the shot. You know, if it wants to go around the table 4 rails, as long as it goes into the pocket that you called. But just to nitpick, it technically wasn't called. And that's how arguments can start in tournaments. I know it sounds pedantic to say it, but that's what can happen. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The end result is McClarkey is back to within 2, and Sylvia's in trouble here. Lots of right spin to kick this. Just got the chip on it. Where's this cue ball ending up? Because that might be quite a nice outcome, and that is not bad. More than happy with that result. Oh dear, a scratch. Pardon me. Well, Sylvia not fancying the run out. Well, I don't know the official rule, but I bet the official rule will be as long as the ball goes into the intended pocket, that's all that matters. It'll be along those lines. So if you want to send an object ball around 5 rails and it goes into the pocket you've called, then it's a legal shot. So if that ball had banked across the table 3 times and still ended up in the pocket it was intended, then it's still legal. I'm just talking about the numpties in VP4. You know, present participants not included, but there are some people in here that would kick up a whole pile of shit if that happened. Well, Stubb would just type LCS FBS and that would be it, all done and dusted. Anyway, Sylvia with the ball in hand combo on the 10 gets herself back into a 3-rack lead, and she's got a kick here, easy kick in the 2, but no major problem as long as she doesn't bang the 2 ball down towards the 5 and 7, because they're the lifeline for her in this rack, and they're obviously the one that stops either player running out at this precise moment. Now McClarkey should have her in more trouble here if he gets the pace right, and he's got it right, but same thing applies. Don't do anything and playing a kick that's going to disturb that 7 and 5. So the problem is though, you can't get to it from this right side, and you can maybe get it between the 8 and the 5 to get near the 2. What the hell's this shit that's popped up? Right. I don't think I've got any moderators on Twitch. I haven't even checked to see if I can moderate people, because we need to take care of that kind of crap coming up. Now, where are we in the match? 7-4 to Sylvia. Right, there's nothing much happening here. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Be back with you. Right, sorry about that, guys. Right, sorry about that, guys. Wait a minute to get this thing muted. Right, sorry about that, guys. Wait a minute to. Right, I'm organised now. Right, Larry and Bedhead, you are both moderators. Take care of that guy or whoever it is if they haven't left, please, if you've got a second. Or you should be moderators. I finally worked out how to do it. But that person's probably run. We don't want any of that numpty bullshit in the chat. Apologies for the interruption, but anyway, the 5 and 7 are still locked up. McClarky at the table. Oh, that's a great shot. Is he going to get lucky? He certainly is. That's excellent. Got the break out in the 5. Just back in time to see that shot. Yeah, I had to go to the Twitch channel to bring up the members in chat and see what you do. There's a little. It's a bit like Chrome with a or what do you call it, Firefox, with 3 little dots next to a player's name, but there's also a little symbol that looks like an outline of a man, and if you press that, it either mods or unmods that person in the chat. So thanks for taking care of them anyway, if that's gone. I saw the chat disappear, so presumably that's what happened. Anyway, McClarky's lost shape on the 7. Sylvia still with a 3-rack lead. Oh, is that in this tournament as well? Oh, they must have just... See, that's the thing. If guys arrange their matches, you know, once they bump into each other in the lobby and they play it there and then, you know, I don't get any advance notice, and I'm certainly not going to go to that one because it's getting to my bedtime anyway. I'm going to stay with this one. Now, I'm looking to see if he's got enough room to risk taking the bank and draw back for the 9. What time? I think it was on the bracket, is it not? It's not a case of stamina. It's a case of getting up for work at 4:30 in the morning. Well, he went for it, but he's got a good end result. Right, take care of that numpty there as well, please. Just mute him. That'll learn him a lesson. Aye, that's fine. That's a good time for me. Right, Stub, you have been, mind you, you're on Facebook, aren't you? I forgot about that. Don't come to Twitch, Stub. That's a bit of a warning for you. Well, Sylvia looking to kick and get lucky. Basically, as we all do when we end up in a situation like this, you've just got to hit and hope. Yeah, Cobra's been waiting there for you for quite a while, Stub. He's well practiced in the one loss side. But McClarkey is going to get one back. As I say, guys, before we all just jump ship and leave, once the match is over, we'll have a look at the bracket for a catch up so we know where everybody stands, what matches are set, and what matches I can stream. Not a word of Polish. He's never been near Poland. Doesn't even know where it is. With the greatest of respect, like most Americans don't know where Poland is. Americans are not known for their geographical awareness, other than what the next state is next to them. And that's not me. That's not me being sarcastic. That's me having seen videos of Americans being asked geographical questions. His name's Stub. Doesn't matter what he calls himself. Well, that will do. Ball hasn't gone to a rail though. But I don't think it really changes much here though. I don't think McClarkey's got much on at all. Well, I think it's a long story, but we don't want him to tell us the story. Well, now, this is a bit of a problem. Does Sylvia try to catch that too? Because all she's going to do is open up the 3. She'll also open herself to a possible 3 fills. Well, she's not hit it, and she's not disturbed anything, so the question now is what does McClarkey do? Because it's not going to be quite as easy to get this full cover on the 2 ball. Well, he's made a pretty damn good effort at it, I'll say that for him. And you certainly can't kick at it up and down. You can go it. You can certainly make a good effort at getting to it from there, no doubt about that, but all you're going to do is open things up. Now how many is that? Is that 2 fouls? No, it's 3 fouls. I lost count. Well, I think that's the first time I've seen that in any of the stream matches. So well played by Clarkey, gets the 3 fouls, and more important, is back within 1. And a ball in the break. 5 ball has gone, lands on the 1. Did he? I never noticed. Mind you, was I actually watching that match? Well, again, I can only see the problem being the 6 to the 7, because the 8, 9 and 10 are all adjacent, which makes it much easier for the run out. So the clincher is getting, well, there you go, commentator's curse, getting himself, and look, he got himself absolutely nowhere in the 6. Mind you, he's hit the knuckle, but Sylvia has the chance, and that's probably a bit further than should have liked, but it's still a shot in the 6. It's better than no shot at all. And we're getting to the business end of this match, and that needs to slow up. It's bedhead territory again. Oh, it's gone in. Well, now Sylvia's sitting pretty here. Just a gentle roll down in the 8. Always handy having the last 3 balls pretty adjacent to each other. It means you don't have to do anything to get there. But it is going to be vital. It's going to open that gap to 2. I heard something drop there. The 2 ball has gone. No shot in the 1. Let's have a quick look. Hang on a sec here. Where's Stubb in this bracket? Where is he? There he is there. So, well, that's what happens when somebody calls a shot. It takes you back out the bracket. Anyway, we'll look at that later on. Wrong button. Push out been played, and maybe not the best of push outs. I mean, the 1 is there as an enticement, and McClarkey's going to have to, well, he did go for the pot. I think he was going to have to play it gentle to just hold to be able to see the 3, but Sylvia now has got a great chance to put him in dire straits here, and that is excellent. Plenty of cover, obviously, and I think the 4 ball's in the way, or is it just above the 4 ball with a bit of spin to kick the 1 on that right rail? No, he thought he could see the edge of it. And he could. It's a missed call though. 7 ball going in. And Sylvia again, if she gets it thin enough, needs to avoid running into anything. She's decided to play it in the short side. Again, good cover. So this one loss side match, cue ball going in. Well, that's a disaster, or a potential disaster for McClarkey. It's ball in hand for Sylvia, 8-6 in front. And of course, for anybody who hasn't been looking in VP4 recently, Sylvia's been getting a fair bit of practice, I've noticed. Usually with Larry. Larry's been warming her up, so McClarkey can blame Larry for the possible outcome of this match, and I'm sure Larry will accept all the blame. But she's not sitting pretty on this 4 ball. Needs a bit of luck. It's going to have to be another good one. Well, I don't like either shot here. The cut into the middle, the cut into the corner. You've got to avoid the scratch in that right middle if you're cutting into the corner. Yeah, that was just too tough. But once again, getting a wee bit of the cover, and that's all that matters at this stage in the match. When you're 2 racks up and needing to, you'll take anything. The spin's bringing the cue ball into play, so I don't think she's going to get a better chance in this. Just drop round the corner, go high enough on that right rail. Well, I think she's either over hit it or under hit it, I don't know, but it's another little testy pot, and sent it round the jaws. Oh, what's this set here? Well, it's nowhere near set. It could, believe it or not, it could possibly get in off the 8. It sounds crazy, but when you're desperate, sometimes shots that you think you shouldn't be going for might go. But it's a big risk doing that. 6 onto the 10, 10 onto the 8, 10 drops into the corner. But it's all out for the cut by the look of it. Into the bottom left. Running into the 10. Yeah, none of these last few shots have been easy, but, well, I said previously she might not get a better chance. Well, all of a sudden, this is a better chance. Bounce, need the angle, and the angle is there. And so Sylvia, well, Barron falling apart at the seams on this 10 ball, should be within 1. And with the break, leading by 9 racks to 6. And McClarkey at the point of no return. It's no miss, no mistakes, or you're out. Nothing doing in the break, but McClarkey should lock Sylvie up behind the 2, and he duly obliges. And I don't know whether the angle's there past that 6 ball. It's going to have to be spin, and it's all about judging the spin to get the kick on this one. Needs a bit of help in right spin, unless it's going to be 2 rails, but even then you may well still have to pinch a wee bit. Yeah, and that will do. No damage done, no shot on. Oh dear. Well, if Sylvia can punch this and avoid the 5 and get it full in the face, McClarkey's in dire straits. Nailed behind the 7. Well, right now McClarkey is not necessarily hanging on by fingertips, but maybe just a couple of fingers, looking for the kick and a hit and a safe. Well, very close, and the only thing that could scupper the run out is this 3 ball. 2 ball from the 1 obviously isn't a problem, but Sylvia's looking at presumably looking at the 7, the 3-7 combo. No, she isn't. She's looking more like the 110 combo for the match. And in the end it was nowhere near. And all that's done is opened up the table. And McClarkey has a shot in the 1, and he's landed on the 2. Well, is Sylvia going to regret not trying the more conventional run out? Didn't fancy playing the combo onto that 7, but in the end she's opened it out and given McClarkey a chance. Is he going to hold his nerve to take this out? He's got to get high enough on this 4 ball into that left middle, avoid the 5, get high enough up the table so he can come back. Well, he's not avoided the 5, so he can still play the cut. Cue ball's running. And if that bounces, he's not bad. He can go 2 ways. The danger is to go around with spin to the right, because if he gets too much on it, it could be interfered with that 8 ball like this. And he's avoided the 9. It could have went wrong. Took a risk. Oh, this is a tester. This, he's got to just miss that 10 ball. Yeah, cheated it well enough. Just 3 more balls to go. 2 now to survive. Now there's a dilemma for you guys when you've got ball in hand. I presume it was ball in hand that she had, and had the chance to run out. Didn't like the combo that should have had to have taken. Decided to go for a long combo in the 10, and has ended up losing the rack. It's all within hindsight now, but yeah, she was trying to. Well, that's what I was tending to think. You know, when all the balls were in the open, the only problem was going to be that 3-7 combo, I think it was, and it wasn't a difficult combo. If you can get into the middle of the table and get yourself on it, you're odds on to get it. And you know, it's well, let's just hope for her sake it doesn't come back to haunt her. The only thing that will save her here is this 7 and 10, and McClarkey again taking the risk. Now, what about, how close is that 7 to the 10? Very close, but I think there's enough, if you're brave enough, to try the bank on the 10, knowing that if it comes up the table it may well come up near the 9 and it might act as a blocker, but that's a real desperate shot to try and play the bank combo in the 10. I think I'm getting way ahead of myself here. But anyway, McClarkey's tried to play the safety, and that is a good outcome. McClarkey in trouble again, but once again you don't want to do anything that's going to nudge that 6 to somehow break the 7 and 10. And if he gets this and cuts it with too much pace like that, he's in danger of nudging it. But look at the outcome. That has worked out absolutely perfectly. And now Sylvia's got the same problem. She can easily kick the 6, but if she comes in this side and hits it that side, she's going to break them. Oh, she's hit the 7. She's saved the trouble. She's opened them all out. Well, the only thing there is the 7's where it is, but he can stun up to the 9. Well, there's trouble ahead here. He's knocked a 9 to the rail, more or less, and look where the 10 is. And this is not over yet, this rack. It's not in the rail, but oh, he's going to go dead straight. That's even worse. Well, there's nothing they can do here but draw it back and thin cut the 10 on the right hand side and leave it safe. Well, he's going all out for the draw, but he's going to end up playing the shot I was talking about. He's surely not gonna go for the cut, just a cut along the rail and get distance. Good evening, Keith. Well, you never got off the ground, and Cobra played pretty well from 6-4 behind. Well, he's went all out for it, but that was never on. Oh, don't tell me he's going to nudge it in. Oh, goodness me, that would have been controversial. But it's all over, and Sylvia with a shot that even Cobra could pot on the 10 for the match, and that is a good result. I said before the match started that that Sylvia's not to be taken lightly. She knows how to pot a ball, and that was a good result, winning by 10 racks to 7. Right, don't go guys, let's have an update on where we stand. First of all, the match earlier tonight that didn't go ahead was the match between Interchange X and Linus. Linus was there, he was all set to go, and Interchange X, well, didn't turn up, and we probably will never know. So there you see, Linus is through to play Party Marty. We've got the match between Senny and Paulina. That's underway, and Paulina's leading by 4 racks to 2. You can go watch that one next, guys, if you want. I won't be there. Further down, we've got Wink at Me and Miasma, and that's tomorrow at 4:30 in the afternoon. If you can't be there, it will be on YouTube later on. And then we can see that Sylvia is through to play Bankster after that win there against McClarkey. We've got Mr. Bill set to play Sergeresh. They've got a few days, 5 days to arrange their match. Now on the winner's side, as an update, we've got Hazad set to play Jover in round number 4, and further up we've got Spectre Dawn all set and arranged to play Mooncake. What day is that? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's 7 o'clock at night, that's fine for me. And then we have Semi-Pro to play Stub, and they've got 8 days or so to arrange that match. And then further up, well, this is going to be a match to look forward to, because Acero was very impressive in his last match against Larry. You only need to ask Larry that. Acero winning that match by 14 racks to 7, and Albinario, who has been the hot shot so far, great win last night between him and Moz, a comfortable win by 14 racks to 6, and so those two are matched up, and that is going to be a big time zone difference again, because Acero is at least 8 hours in front of me, probably 7 hours in front of Albinario, so hopefully that's at a time that I can get it. So that is us up to date, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for your company. Well done to Sylvia, well done to Cobra. Unlucky Keith. I don't know what the next big tournament will be, I'll let you know about it. Stub, make sure you arrange your match so I can get it this time, and of course you will, because Sebi Pro's playing, and he's not going to be playing you at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can tell you that. So it's been good. Thanks a lot again, guys. Take care, stay safe. Thanks for the moderation, Larry, or whoever it was. Maybe it was Bedhead, but that took care of that problem. And until we meet again. Oh, there's Andy. Well, it's hello and goodbye. You joined at the last minute, or at least that's the first time I've seen you there. I'm going to head off to bed now. It's past my bedtime, and hopefully you can join us later on in the week for that match with who the hell was it? Spectre Dawn? Well, whatever match it is, it's at 7 o'clock. I'll be there. There's one in the afternoon as well, whenever it is. I've forgotten already, I even looked at the bracket. But anyway, good night, take care, and I'll see you again soon.